Welcome everybody to the 207th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, January 18th, 2018. And once again, we're honored to have Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation available for us here. And he'll give us the news about the activities of the Keshe Foundation as well as the latest teachings of the technology of the soul. And I think Mr. Keshe is ready to go here. Hello, Mr. Keshe, are you there? Hello, we can't hear you, at least I can't yet.
Good morning.
There we go.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seekers. Can you hear me?
It faded out there. It's good now. It seems better now, yes.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Keshe? Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, Rick.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. As I said, good morning. I can hear you. Okay.
You're breaking up a little bit, but I think it might clear itself.
Clear, loud and clear. Hello, can you hear me?
Mr. Keshe.
Hello?
Go ahead, Mr. Keshe. Okay, I don't think you can hear me. Let me try to put in the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Good morning, good day to you. Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you. Good morning, good day to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seekers programs. We are in the phase of learning more about ourselves, our work of our lives in physicality and different matters. And in the last few weeks, as I said, we try to add more and more to the knowledge, and in that process we learn more, can bring the knowledge of what we gained in the past, and in so many ways knowledge of our ancestors they gain, and they in a way did not understand what they had in their hand, or in a way the knowledge was not there to comprehend the totality. It is very interesting for all of us to start gaining confidence in the knowledge, and in so many ways gaining more and more insight into the reality of what is and how we work internally, which we did not know, which in so many ways were not told the whole package. And our knowledge and our science and our understanding of the science of the man and the universe and the cosmos and the solar system it's been a gradual gathering of things together, trying to guess what it could be. But with this kind of knowledge which we have gained and other scientists bring to us, it brings us more closer to understand. As part of the work, we had some good news from Philippines this morning in Philippines. As you remember, last year our people attended the same conference, and this year they are again there, and they're sending us the pictures. We have sponsored a conference, and we've been invited to give a lecture next year in this conference, which we have accepted. Hopefully we can make it. There are some pictures which is sent to us. Rick, if you can show them, that would have been proud. They wanted to be shown. It's annual conference in the university, and they are very eager to be able to to share the knowledge of the plasma technology. Rick, do you have those pictures with you which we received this morning?
Getting should be up. Let me reshare. I think there's something happening with the sharing here.
No, I see it. Everything's fine here, Rick.
Okay, good. And let me see here if I can. I think I'm going. Maybe I'm going backwards here. Here we have to start on this one actually. Do you see it there, Mr. Keshe, or maybe it might be a lag?
Nothing is coming up yet.
Okay. I think it will. It's probably a lag from your end there. I'm going to make the picture a little bit smaller to help it out a bit here. Okay.
It looks like your picture is frozen.
It should be okay now. Are others able to see the image okay?
No, we just got the standard KF.
I can see the image. Hi, Rick. I can see the image from here.
Okay.
Okay, if Alex can see it, then Mr. Keshe, can you check your internet connection, please?
Yeah, I hear the voice. I hear the communication, but I cannot see it. It's okay, no problem. You can explain there is 3 or 4 pictures. One is the conference and one.
This picture shows
promotion with carry on.
Yes, this picture shows the image of the logo for the conference. It says the 8th International Mechanical Engineering Research Conference. And it says multidisciplinary engineering research and development towards sustainable industry and academy linkages, or academic linkages. And it's in the Philippines over January 18th and 19th, 2018. And you can see the Keshe Foundation logo on the bottom right part of the screen there, the center of our screen. Is there anything you want to say about that one, Mr. Keshe, or should I go to the next slide?
I don't see anything. I have no.
I think everybody else
I
can.
have no pictures on my screen, so I don't see anything.
I think everybody else can see it. Okay.
We've seen it.
And the next picture, we can see the conference room with people sitting around in chairs, and a presentation of part of the Keshe technology on the screen. And we have another picture of Mr. Keshe is holding the GANS container, and there's people in the conference room. So there's a video or slides being shown of Keshe Foundation things.
This is the promotional video, as we have sponsored the conference partially for it. So every break, every time the seminar starts, the Keshe Foundation promotion video plays. With this kind of lectures and seminars were supported last year, I think, and the year before by Philippine team. Then it's ongoing as it's part of the annual event in the university. We thank the Philippine group for their effort and what they are doing there. There is another point which we have to understand more. Thank you very much, Rick. Last week I started explanation about what we call life of the horizontal and the vertical, and the difference how we breathe and how they absorb energy and they breathe. And in that process, I try to explain in more detail how the whole the structure of the life begins in the plant, in what we say, how oxygen is released and how carbon is absorbed. There is a need to explain further, to understand more, and to be able to fully understand exactly what is happening in this process of what we call cleaning energy, or in so many ways absorbing energy through the cycle of the gases of the planet. And then this brings in the question why then the plants need the roots, if they can do and absorb food and energy through the leaves. This is very much the same as the man, for a relation of the soul of the plants. They have the connection to the matter side of the life too. They live the same pattern of life as we do. We breathe for a relation of the soul, and then we eat physical matter for elevation of our soul through the connection of the soul of the planet, plants, and what we call the cycle to be completed, as I explained in the whole setup last week. So do the plants do. They breathe through, or they take.
Keshe, we lost you at the plants breathe. Apologize, we have a bit of a rough connection here. Hello, Mr. Keshe. It's a very rough connection. We can't quite hear you right now.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. We can hear you
Can
now.
you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
We had no problem up to. Yes.
Okay, there's a
You
bit
can
of a...
hear me. We never had a problem. It's very strange.
Yeah, there's a
Let me
lag
see why
happening
we
and
have this problem.
there's a bandwidth
Okay.
happening, issue happening.
Yes, it is okay. But we never had a problem. So
There was a suggestion maybe to restart again your connection, but I think you might have tried that already.
it's very strange. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's okay at this moment.
Okay, give me. You carry on. You carry on. You carry on, and then we'll see what we can do. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it okay? Can you hear me properly? Let me reboot, and I'll come back. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good
Can you
idea.
hear me?
Yes, please do that,
I'm
Mr.
going to
Keshe.
reboot and come back. I think that'll be the best way.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll be a couple of minutes here while Mr. Keshe reconnects. And it's just a rough connection at his end, so we need to have him restart. Flint, I don't know if we're ready to go to Gatwa's reading yet. I'd like perhaps Mr. Keshe to set that up a bit before we begin that. But you're ready to go, aren't you, Gatwa, for the reading?
Yes, I'm ready. When given the go-ahead, I'll do it. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
We should probably wait for Mr. Keshe to come back for that, I think.
Yes, I think so too.
Okay, if anybody has any songs they'd like to sing, as long as they're not copyrighted, this would be a good time. Perhaps a little background guitar. Um, we could take a 5-minute break, although Mr. Keshe could come back before that, and I'd rather we take advantage of his time as much as possible. So perhaps we can just wait here, and maybe we could put in a musical interlude, Flint, of some sort. That's okay. We have our moving screen. We have the moving screen that people can watch.
Okay.
Close enough. Um, what else do we have? We could perhaps maybe it's time to promote something. One thing I'd like to discuss that we can that I can mention in the meantime here is we're starting a little project of accumulating. Oh, there we go. We're starting to hear you, Mr. Keshe. Hello. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Can you hear me?
Oh, well, that's coming through good right now. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Very good right now. Yes.
Hi. Yes. Can you hear me now? Is it good?
It's much better so far. Yes.
There is a huge delay. Yeah, but there
Yes.
is a huge delay between the two. Am I
Yes,
correct?
it's probably going through hundreds of computers, all trying to figure out what you're saying.
Okay, I'm gonna join you in another way, hopefully.
Okay, because it is starting to break up again
Can
now.
you let me in on the other side, please? On the second one I came in through. Okay. Can you hear me on this one now?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Okay,
Can you hear me?
we're getting feedback now with the two systems. I'm not sure which. I have to mute one of them. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah. It's better now.
Okay, I need to mute one of you at this end, I guess, and I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, I have muted it, no problem.
Just a minute here. I'll try muting one and see if it's the correct one. I wasn't able to mute. I'm not able to mute Mr. Keshe, so he has to. You have to mute one of your microphones. Yes, Mr. Keshe, you have to mute one of your microphones to make sure it's not feeding back.
I already done that.
Okay, it shows it as open on the list here, but it's not feeding back now, so I think it might be okay. Do you want to try again?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Turn echo here, big time. Yes, I hear you, Mr. Keshe. Can you hear me? Hello.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we do hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I think there's about 15-second delay, 10-second delay.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Okay, no problem. So we start back on what we explained before. As we understood that the body of the man needs both the atmospheric condition and at the same time the what we call the matter content of the planet, what we call the food we eat and the air we breathe for the condition for in a way of gaseous part. The same thing happens with the trees. The same thing happens with what we call the vertical people. They need both. They need to be able to both have the gaseous part of the planet, energies, and what we call the matter state of it. That's why they have the roots. In that process, they make a lot of compromises. So what a plant does in a human life, we move around. In the animals, what we can move around, we can eat different, we can choose. But when you have compromised and you become what I call the horizontal, you don't have that much compromise, you can choose. And
Hello, Mr. Keshe. We lost you there again. Also, over at it, Parvis, your microphone is open and we're having trouble muting it. Could you just mute it your end, please? Doug reminds us to have patience and that the vertical people have lots of patience. Thank you, Doug, for that reminder. If we had the patience of a tree, then we'd all be in way better shape. Mr. Keshe, we're not... Oh, hello,
Rick.
Caroline.
Yes, hi, good morning, everybody. I think it might be a good idea to let Dr. Guata to read the Constitution, because I think we're going to have to sort this moving internet problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go ahead with that then.
Okay.
Do you want to set that up, Caroline, just to introduce Gatwa and what he's going to read, or do you know about that?
I think you're the best man in position.
I can't even pronounce the language that he's reading it in, though. Gikuyu. Gikuyu? Is that how you pronounce it, Gatwa?
Gikoyo.
Gikoyo.
Gikoyo. Yes.
Gikoyo. Okay. So, and you. This is the Earth Council Constitution.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Yes, we can. We were just going to go ahead with having Gatwa read the his document, but if you're able to speak, go ahead. Hello? I think he might have dropped again, or at least it's... We can't hear you, Mr. Keshe. I'm not sure what's happening at your end. The microphone is not open on the one connection, and the other connection has dropped, I believe. Okay, let's, perhaps we should move into you there, Gatwa.
Okay.
And if just go ahead and introduce what you're about to read, and who you are, and all of that, and the proper pronouncement of your language.
Thank you very much, Rick. I'm going to read the Earth Council Constitution, a translation in Gikuyu. And Gikuyu is a language spoken in Kenya by about 20% of the Kenya's population.
Is it possible, Gatwa, to do the screen share of the document as well, or do we have that available?
No, I'll go ahead and share.
Okay, that'd be great.
Please let me know when you see it on the screen.
Yes, we see it there now.
Okay, this is a translation. This is the translation of the Earth Council Constitution. And of course, as I said earlier, the language is Gikuyu, spoken by more than 10 million people in Kenya and many others outside Kenya. So I'll continue to read now. Idwe, mioyo ya ciũmbe ciothe iria ikonainie na thĩ bũrũri ya Pururu, haha nĩ twatunga kĩambi watho gĩa thĩ bũrũri ya Pururu, bũrũri ũmwe, bũrũri ĩmwe, rũruka rũmwe. Kĩambi watho, njama ya thĩ yambĩrĩirio ya kĩĩranĩro atĩ nĩ ũndũ wa kũhe ciũmbe ciothe ũhoti wa gwĩtetera ũiganaine, gũtirĩ hĩndĩ gũkagĩa mbĩtĩka ĩngĩ kana mbara bũrũri-inĩ ĩno ona kũngĩ, yumĩte kũrĩ ũmwe kana gatagatĩ-inĩ ga ciũmbe ciothe hamwe na mũingĩ. Mũthiro wa mbara na wambĩrĩria wa thayũ nĩ maũndũ mekũhotithio nĩ ũmenyo wa mohoti ma ciũmbe ciothe. Njĩra ya mwerekero wa thayũ no mũhaka ĩkorwo ya ũmenyithania wa atĩ maiguithanio marehagwo nĩ waranĩria hamwe na ũtũgĩria wa muoyo wa mũkararania, no ti ũnyihia kana wagĩri bata wa muoyo wake kana wa kĩũmbe kĩngĩ o gĩothe. Thayũ no mũhaka ũkorwo wĩ muoroto wa mũthiĩre o wothe ũtũũro-inĩ wa kĩũmbe o gĩothe bũrũri-inĩ ĩno. Njama nĩyo ĩrĩkuaga bendera ya ũtambia wa mwerekera ũyũ wa gwaka macigĩrĩria marĩa mangĩtũma thayũ woneke thĩinĩ wa thĩ. Thayũ no mũhaka ũkorwo nĩguo ihiga rĩa koine rĩa ũikarania na arĩa a bũrũri ĩno kana arĩa methurĩire gũikara bũrũri-inĩ ĩno hamwe na arĩa a kuma thĩ ĩno na methurĩire gũtũũra mwanya-inĩ. Thĩ no nginya ĩtuĩke irerero rĩa thayũ harĩ ũkũria wa iruka ciothe. Ithuĩ njama ya thĩ nĩ twĩtĩkĩrĩte atĩ thĩ nĩ gĩcunjĩ kĩmwe kĩa mũbangĩrĩre wa riũa, mũbangĩrĩre wa njata, mũbangĩrĩre mũmwe hamwe na nyamĩ ũmwe. Kũhana ũguo, thĩ bũrũri nĩ yagĩrĩire gũtuĩka ĩmwe ya mũrurumo wa ũmbi na njĩra ya gũteithĩrĩria bũrũri hamwe na ciũmbe ciothe iria cikaraga thĩinĩ wayo ciĩtũgĩrie kũrũga mũrurumo wa matukũ tũrĩ wa ũkũria ikinye harĩ ũikarania ũciagĩrĩire makĩria na wa thayũ. Nĩ twĩtĩkĩrĩte maitũ thĩ yo nyene ta kĩũmbwa kĩrĩ na muoyo wakĩo. Kuma gatome o gothe gũthiĩ mĩmera, nyamũ, marang'a, ciũmbe ningini na ingĩ nyingĩ na kinya iria itoĩkaine, ciothe nĩ mĩoyo ĩrĩa ĩnyitanĩire muoyo-inĩ wa mũmbi hamwe na makũmbĩ-inĩ ma mĩrũri ya thĩ bũrũri. Twĩturanĩire hamwe nacio twĩ muoyo ũmwe mũnyitanu wa bũrũri. Nĩ twĩtĩkĩrĩte atĩ ciũmbe iria ingĩ ciothe cia bũrũri ĩno nĩ ciagĩrĩire gũteithĩrĩrio, kũrerwo na gwĩtĩkĩrio ithereme na thayũ kinya nyamũ, mĩmera, ng'ũndĩrĩrĩ na ciũmbe ingĩ iria itonekaga hamwe na maitũ thĩ yo nyene. Ciothe nĩ irĩteithagĩrĩrio ikũre na ithereme, tondũ gwĩka ũguo nakuo nĩ kũrĩambatagĩria motũũro na ti motũũro ma bũrũri ĩno mwiki, nĩ ma ũwothe-inĩ. Ota ũguo twĩtĩkĩrĩte atĩ ithuothe twĩ gĩcunjĩ kĩa ũgima ũmwe. Ũiguithania, mũnyitanĩre, ũteithania, ũgayanĩri na ũtegi harĩ ũtũũro mwega wa mũingĩ nĩmo magĩrĩire gũkorwo me gĩtina kĩa mawĩra ma njama ya thĩ. muoroto witũ nĩ gũteithĩrĩria bũrũri othe hamwe na ciũmbe ciothe iria cimeikaraga. Tũrĩtũmĩkagĩra nĩguo tũkũrie macigĩrĩria ma ũreri na iguano kũrĩa ciũmbe ciothe ingĩkũrĩra na itheremere na njĩra ciacio mwanya. Akĩama atandatũ a njama ya thĩ. O mũhingĩrĩrwa mwanya wa thĩ ũrũgamĩrĩirwo nĩ mũkĩama ũmwe. Mĩhingĩrĩrwo ĩyo nĩ Afrika, Asia, Australia, Europe, Amerika ya rũgongo na Amerika ya mũhuro. O mũkĩama arũgamĩrĩire mabatarwa na merirĩrio ma andũ arĩa maikaraga mũhingĩrĩrwa-inĩ wake hamwe na wothe wa ciũmbe iria cikaraga kuo. Mĩtaratara ya ithurano. Akĩama no mũhaka makorwo maikarĩte mĩhingĩrĩrwa-inĩ ĩtanyihĩire ĩrĩ na nĩ maragia thiomi itanyihĩire igĩrĩ. Gĩtũmi nĩ gwĩtĩkĩria ũmenyo wa mĩonere mĩingĩ rĩrĩa akĩama maratangĩkĩra mabatarwa ma mũingĩ. Ũthererũku wa mĩoyo. Akĩama othe atandatũ a njama ya thĩ me haha gũtũmĩkĩra angĩ kũringana na ũmenyo wa mĩoyo yao kũgerera mĩĩrĩ-inĩ cionerwa cia mĩoyo. Gĩathĩ kĩa njama ya thĩ. Gũteithĩrĩria na gũtũmĩkĩra kũhũnia na kũrangĩra. Kũrehere mĩoyo itũ ũmenyo wa atĩ hinya wa kwĩyatha wĩ thĩinĩ wa o mũndũ mĩkuruhano-inĩ na mĩoyo ĩngĩ na wĩyakĩri-inĩ wa ũikarania wa thayũ. Wendi witũ nĩ gũkĩria wega wa mawega mothe thĩinĩ wa kĩũmbe gĩothe kĩ muoyo bũrũri-inĩ ĩno ya bururu twĩtaga thĩ. Kũhe cionerwa cia mĩoyo itũ mĩĩrĩ-inĩ wĩyathi wa gũikara na thayũ, wendo na wĩhokani bũrũri-inĩ na mwanyua-inĩ. Mawendi maitũ nĩ harĩ ciũmbe ciothe cia muoyo ũmbi-inĩ itũũre na thayũ, ũiguano na ũhoreri. Kahinda nĩ gakinyu ga gũkinyĩra na kũgayana mĩthithũ ũndũ ũmwe na njĩra njagĩrĩru na ya ũma harĩ ciũmbe ciothe. Njama ya thĩ ĩrĩtũmĩkagĩra na ĩgateithĩrĩria kũhũnia ciũmbe ciothe na maũndũ maya: wĩyathi wa ngwatanĩro, wĩyathi wa kwĩyaria, wĩyathi wa kũrũra, wĩyathi wa kweherera ng'aragu, wĩyathi wa kweherera wagi wa mĩthithũ, wĩyathi wa gwetha njĩra cia kũmenya muoyo witũ, wĩyathi wa gũcaria ũũgĩ, wĩyathi wa gũtegera mũingĩ kũringana na mohoti maitũ na ũrĩa tũkuona ũgĩtũkenia. Wĩyathi wa gwĩthurĩra na mĩoyo itũ ũrĩa na nĩrĩ tũkwenda kuoneka kĩmwĩrĩ kana kwaga kuoneka. Wĩyathi wa kwaga gũtuĩka indo cia mũndũ ũngĩ. Wĩyathi wa kweherera ũgirĩrĩria wa maũndũ merũ na moturi merũ na ma ũtambia wa ũhoro wa mahũthĩrwa ma gĩthayũ. Wĩyathi wa gũtanaha, wĩyathi wa gwĩciria, wĩyathi wa wendo na wa kũheana, wĩyathi wa wĩthurĩri, wĩyathi wa rũthiomi, wĩyathi wa kweherera mũbangĩrĩre wa mbia, wĩyathi wa kweherera mĩhera, gũtirĩ gũikio ngono kana kũragwo, wĩyathi wa kweherera mbĩtĩka na mbara, wĩyathi wa kwaga guoya na kũgirĩrĩrio mawĩyathi maya nĩ andũ angĩ. Gũtikagĩa mĩhaka ya bũrũri kana ya icigo. Gũtikagĩa mũthutũkanio wa marangi, wa iruka kana njĩra cia wĩtĩkia. Gũtikagĩa mũthutũkanio wa mĩtugo kana igirĩrĩria cia mbia cia kũgayũkania andũ kuma kũrĩ arĩa angĩ kana kũhe ũmwe mweke ũtamwagĩrĩire wa gũtũma ateithĩke gũkĩra ũrĩa ũngĩ. Gũtikagĩa magai ma ngathĩ cia iturwa kana magai ma mawĩra ma ũtongoria makonainie na uthamaki, wathani wa gĩthũri wa manyũmba, kana ũnene wa marĩtwa mwanya o mothe. Gũtirĩkoragwo guoya wa kũherithĩrio wĩkinaĩ o wothe. Ũtũgĩrio wa mĩoyo ya arĩa ahĩtia nĩ ũrĩhotithagia weheria wa cioho cia mĩthemba yothe hamwe na ũtuanĩri wa gĩkuũ. Nĩ ũndũ wa gũthomithio na wa kũgayanĩra maũgĩ ngathĩ-inĩ ya muoyo, ciũmbe ciothe nĩ irĩhotaga gwĩtũgĩria. Kũherithio gũtingĩonerwo ithenya ngathĩ-inĩ ya muoyo nĩ ũndũ wa ũtaũkĩrwo wa hinya wa makũmbĩ ma mĩrũri yaguo. Gũtirĩ bata wa mũbangĩrĩre wa mbia wa gũkũrania wĩra na indo hamwe na ũtũmĩkĩri. Tũgũthondeka macigĩrĩria kũrĩa mbia itarĩkoragwo na bata harĩ mũingĩ. Rĩrĩa mabataro mothe ma mĩĩrĩ ya ciũmbe ciothe makahingio, wĩra ũkarutagwo wĩ wa gũkenia angĩ na wa gwĩkenia. Mũthiro wa mũbangĩrĩre wa mbia nĩ kĩambĩrĩria gĩa gĩtĩna kĩa andũ mena ũgima wa mĩĩrĩ na wendani wa ma gatagatĩ-inĩ kao othe me gũkũ thĩinĩ wa thĩ ĩno bũrũri ya bururu. Kũruta wĩra kwagĩrĩire gũkoragwo gwĩ gwa gũcanjamũkĩrwo tu, kana gwĩ gwa kũrehe gĩkeno nĩ ũndũ wa gũtũmĩkĩra angĩ na gũtũgĩria mĩoyo ya angĩ hamwe na itũ. Arĩa othe merirĩirie gũtũmĩkĩra angĩ me a gũtua matua na gũtongoria no merutĩre gũtũmĩkĩra kũringana na ũmenyo wa mĩoyo yao na metĩkĩrio nĩ arĩa angĩ nĩguo mahote kũhingia ũrĩa mekwenderwo. Ũtũgĩrio wa ũmenyo nĩ ũgũtũhotithia gwĩtĩkĩra mahinya mwanya ma makũmbĩ ma mĩrũri ya muoyo ũrĩa ũngĩhotithia andũ gũtũmĩkĩra nĩguo angĩ magunĩke na mũingĩ wothe ũtũgĩrio. Erutĩri marĩtũmĩkagĩra na njĩra ya gũthererũkĩria angĩ na kũmakĩrĩria nĩguo metũgĩrie. Ũtongoria umaga muoyo-inĩ wa mũndũ na ũiguanĩro-inĩ wake na mũingĩ wa ũrĩa arĩũtũmĩkagĩra. Nĩtũhete ciũmbwa ciothe cia mĩthemba na mĩrũgamo mwanya gĩtĩo thĩinĩ wa thĩ ĩno bũrũri ya bururu ona kũrĩa kũngĩ. Kĩũmbe gĩothe gĩ thĩinĩ wa bũrũri kĩrĩkoragwo na mawĩyathi ũndũ ũmwe na iria ingĩ. Mawĩyathi maya nĩ magũkĩhotithia gũikarania na thayũ na ciũmbe ingĩ ciothe macigĩrĩria-inĩ ma kwĩhokana na gũtĩana. Ciũmbe ciothe irĩkoragwo na wĩyathi wa gũthura gũikara ũrĩa ikwĩyendera, bata nĩ ikorwo ikĩrĩrĩra ciũmbe iria ingĩ na gũcihe gĩtĩo kĩrĩa gĩciagĩrĩire. Ciũmbe ciothe ci thĩinĩ wa bũrũri nĩ ciagĩrĩire gũteithĩrĩrio nĩguo ihote gũikara itarĩ na wagi, kũhingia mabataro ma gĩikaro, maĩ, irio, ũgitĩri na wĩyathi wa kũhũthĩra hinya wa makũmbĩ ma mĩrũri. Na macio nĩ thithũ ya thĩ kana ya mũmũ ũmwe. Nĩ kwagĩrĩire kũroranio nakuo mbere hamwe na thayũ na ũmĩrĩru wa kũhotithia ũiganĩru wa ngoro na wendi wa ũthererũkĩrwa. Ũingĩ wa mĩthemba o wothe nĩ twĩtĩkĩrĩte nĩ wa bata mũno na nĩ ũingĩ wa meyonanĩrio ma mũmbi, na nĩ tũrĩũkũngũagĩra na nĩtũrĩũkenagĩra na tũkaũkũngũĩra nĩ ũndũ wa kuongerera ũithĩranu mĩikarĩre-inĩ itũ. Kĩũmbe o gĩothe kĩagĩrĩire kũringĩrĩrio kũmenya maũgĩ, makĩria mũno mũndũ nĩ abataire gũkorwo na wĩyathi wa gũcaria na kũmenya maũgĩ marĩa mangĩmenyeka hatarĩ bata wa kũruta wĩra hĩndĩ ciothe nĩguo ahote gwĩtũria muoyo. Ũturi wa mĩthoko ya kũhotithia wĩtũria wa o mũndũ na wa andũ ehoti no mũhaka ũteng'eranio naguo. Mĩoyo ya ciũmbe nĩ gwathĩrĩra na yathane na njĩra njagĩrĩru, njĩra ya kĩhoto, njĩra njega na njĩra ya ũma ũtũũro-inĩ ya kũguna ciũmbe ciothe ũndũ ũmwe hatarĩ mũthutũkanio. Rĩrĩ nĩ rita rĩa mbere ũtũũro-inĩ wa andũ, na kwĩna wĩyenderi ngathĩ-inĩ ya muoyo. Gĩthomo kĩrĩambagĩrĩria na njĩra ya kũmenya muoyo kuma mũndũ mwana. Rĩrĩa mogwati ma ndũire moneka, no mũhaka tũteithagĩrĩrie ciũmbe ciothe gĩcigo-inĩ kĩu, tũtekwenda imwe gũkĩra ingĩ, tũgacitangĩkĩra irĩ ciothe. Nĩ ũndũ wa ũguo, nĩ twagĩrĩirwo kũmenya ng'ũndĩrĩre ya bũrũri wega, hamwe na mabatarwa ma ciũmbe ciothe mĩrurumo-inĩ ya ũtũũro wacio. Ciũmbe ciothe nĩ irĩkoragwo na mĩthithũ yacio na ya kũgaĩra iria ingĩ hĩndĩ ya bũthi na hĩndĩ ya mogwati. Rĩrĩa mbĩtĩka yoneka, no mũhaka twaragĩrĩrie ũiguithania wa thayũ kũrĩ mĩena yothe mbĩtĩka-inĩ ĩyo, tondũ mũingĩ wothe no mũhaka ũheo thayũ wa gũtũũra. Kũngĩhoteka ũũ, o rĩrĩa mabatarwa ma arĩa me mbĩtĩka-inĩ ĩyo marĩrĩirio wega, ciũmbe ciothe nĩ ciagĩrĩirwo kũgitĩrwo kuma ũthũkio wa kĩmwĩrĩ na wa kĩngoro. Mũtaratara wa gũtua matua. Gũtirĩ aingĩ marĩkomagĩrĩria wĩyathi wa angĩ anini. Ũiguithanĩrio ũrĩonekaga nĩ ũndũ wa waranĩria hamwe na ũtũgĩrio wa muoyo wa mũndũ. Itua o rĩothe no mũhaka rĩkorwo na umithio harĩ mũingĩ wothe. Kĩũmbe o gĩothe nĩ kĩrĩheagwo gĩtĩo, gĩtirĩonagĩrwo na kĩrĩigananagio na iria ingĩ maũndũ-inĩ mothe. Mĩoyo ya ciũmbe ĩrĩathagĩra gĩko gĩothe na njĩra ya thayũ. Kũrehe thayũ thĩinĩ wa bũrũri na arĩa othe mamĩikaraga kũrĩkoragwo kwĩ mwerekero witũ hĩndĩ ciothe. Gũtũmĩkĩra mabatarwa ma ciũmbe ciothe nĩyo njĩra iki ĩngĩtũhotithia kũhingia maũndũ maya. Rĩtana, ciũmbe ciothe kuma kĩrĩa kĩnini kinya kĩrĩa kĩnene, ũkai tũkũngũĩre, tũcame na tũhĩmbĩrie thayũ, wendani, wĩhokani na wĩyathi. Ciũmbe ciothe ciĩ haha kwambatĩria ngathĩ ya gacũmbĩrĩ ya andũ na ũtaũkĩrwo wao wothe, nĩguo ũtũgĩrio wa mĩoyo. Mĩoyo yothe igai matharaita mothe thĩ, mothe maharo thĩ, rũmena na ũkararania, rekei tũikare na thayũ na ũhoreri bũrũri-inĩ ĩno ya bururu twĩtaga thĩ. Ciũmbe ciothe ciĩ muoyo cigũtũũra na ũiguano na maũmbi mothe bũrũri-inĩ ĩno ya bururu twĩtaga thĩ, hamwe na muoyo-inĩ wothe. Mĩtaratara ya kuonania mĩtugo ya ũmũndũ nĩ yagĩrĩire kinya rĩrĩa mĩoyo ya andũ ĩkamenya wĩra wayo na cikaro ciayo thĩinĩ wa mĩhaka ya mĩtaratara ya mũmwe. Muoyo nĩ wagĩrĩire kũmenya maũndũ mothe ngathĩ-inĩ mwanya cia mũmbĩre. Mĩoyo yothe ya ciũmbe ĩna wĩyathi wa ũiguano, wa ũiganano, wa gũikara na thayũ na gũtherema gũkũ thĩ na kũrĩa kũngĩ. Mĩoyo ya ciũmbe ciothe nĩ ĩrĩcionagia mohoti marĩa mega makĩria ma hinya na mothaka ma gũteganĩra na gũtamba mĩũmbĩre-inĩ yothe. Wĩcokerie hinya wa mĩoyo wa gwatha ciũmbe ciothe gũkũ thĩ. Hinya ndũgwĩrĩire atongoria amwe kana ciũmbe ingĩ nĩguo marũgamagĩrĩre na mathage arĩa angĩ, no umaga thĩinĩ witũ nĩguo twende na tũtanahĩre thayũ, wendo, ikeno na wĩyathi, na tũgũtanahĩra angĩ. Kĩambi watho gĩkĩ gĩa gũkũ thĩ nĩ kĩa wendi mwega wa thayũ, wendo, wĩhokani na wĩyathi wa mĩoyo ya ciũmbe ciothe ciĩ muoyo hamwe na ciũmbe ingĩ ũmbi-inĩ wothe. Kĩambi watho gĩkĩ nĩ gĩa kũhe ciũmbe ciothe hinya wa gwĩka ũrĩa kwagĩrĩire na gũkenera kũrutithania mawĩra na gũtũmĩkĩra hamwe na mĩoyo ĩngĩ nĩ ũndũ wa kuona ũthaka ũmbi-inĩ. Kĩambi watho gĩkĩ kĩhana rũĩ na no kĩrũngwo icũrĩ kahinda o gothe kũringana na bata. Kwa mũhiano, mĩtugo ya andũ nĩ ũndũ wa ũikarania wa thayũ, ciguithanĩrio cia thayũ gatagatĩ ka mũndũ na mũndũ, tondũ gũtirĩkoragwo mbara kana mbĩtĩka o yothe thĩinĩ wa bũrũri ĩno ya bururu twĩtaga thĩ, na mawĩra-inĩ ma andũ na ciũmbe ingĩ cia kuma kũndũ kũingĩ mũmũmũ-inĩ. Kĩambi watho gĩkĩ gĩa thĩ bũrũri ya bururu nĩ kĩrĩtwarithanagio na matukũ mweri-inĩ wa Mũgaa o mwaka. Njoherera, gĩcigo gĩkĩ kĩrendwo gĩikarage gĩtarĩ kĩandĩke ũndũ, gĩ gĩa kũgarũragĩrwo maũndũ marĩa mangĩoneka magĩrĩire nĩguo thayũ wa hĩndĩ ciothe ũtũũrio thĩinĩ wa thĩ ĩno, bũrũri ya bururu na kũrĩa kũngĩ. Kĩambi watho gĩkĩ kĩandĩkĩtwo nĩ mĩoyo ya mũingĩ wa thĩ bũrũri ya bururu, ũrũgamĩrĩirwo nĩ akĩama a njama ya thĩ: Alex Egbaran, Parviz Rashford, Mehran Keshe, Lisa McDonald, Wayne Nguyen, Rodrigo Vildosola. Wa gũtũma marũa ma kũbucia nĩ peace@theearthcouncil.org. Kĩambi watho no kĩonorio rũrenda-inĩ rũrũ rũheane haha. Nĩ wega mũno nĩ gũthikĩrĩria. Thank you very much. That is the end of this Gikuyu version of the EC Constitution. Thank you very much indeed.
Very good, Gato.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very good. Go ahead, Mr. Keshe.
Yeah. Sorry about that. There was an update in the background which is halting everything. So hopefully we can get away with it, but it cannot be finished. So I was forcing to update and see what happens. I start from the beginning. As I said, good morning, good day to you. And I hope we can learn more today, whenever you listen to these knowledge seekers programs. As I was explaining, is that up to now we understood the work of the physical body of the man, that he uses both air and the mineral, or what we call the solid state part of the matter of the planet. So now for the first time we understand, it's the same with what we call the vertical people. They both use the gaseous part and what we call the minerals, the physical part of the planet too. And this is what part which as human we always look to our benefit. We always thought that's it. The plants breathe or take carbon and release oxygen. But in fact and reality, this is part of their process of absorbing energy from the gaseous part. They don't do it for us, they don't do it to create oxygen. They do it as part of the process to be able to absorb energy for their part of life. And when the condition between the atmospheric and the ground, or what they call, they have chosen as what we call their legs or the roots, is in sequence and in balance, then that dictates the state and what type of plant or tree or what we call the vertical being they become. In a way, it's an entity, life, and it has the same as the man. It has a soul, it has a dimension to it. And in so many ways, we understand now more that the root is gathering the energies from the what we call the physical part of the planet, and that's because they cannot move to have the diversity of what we call the air they breathe, or the minerals, or what we call, they take from the storage of the planet on the physical side of the planet. So they become limited, restricted to what they can have, as far as the roots can go, and how much that root can build and dig into the ground they are in. Or they can attach themselves to another entity to be part of. So the same as what we do, relying on the air, gaseous part, and then the matter part what we eat as a physical food, so do the plants. Last week I explained in a way that how the plants absorb energy, why and how they do it. And there is a need to explain further that we understand more about this beautiful structure which they have chosen to live, and they in so many ways work through this process that we understand now more with the teachings, and how they actually elevate themselves, how they become mono entity. And on the time of the death of the plant, in different shape or size or forms, or vegetation which man consumes, we negotiate physicality and part of the soul of the plant with us. We consume heavily vegetation. As humans, we consume fruit, we consume the roots. And in that process, in that cycle, in a way our body has learned to transform and accept part of the soul of the plant, part of the soul of the tree, because it becomes part of us. It's not just we eat a piece of herb or an apple that we do not, in a way, has nothing to do with us. In so many ways, in the mythical time, we were told that when the Eve gave the apple to the Adam, that's where the problem started. In fact, in a way, in the reality, in that process, man got attached to the earth. The apple was the attachment to the physicality of this planet. In a way, man had to take for the first time something from the earth to be part of it, and that becomes the shackle of the man to this planet. The apple, what we say the sin, it was connecting the physicality to the soul of the man. And this is what we have to understand mythically what it means. But in this process, how a plant, how a tree absorbs energy is something which we call it photosynthesis, which is us again trying to make it important that they release oxygen, and we understand. But how does the process happen? What is the method of the process happen? Up to now, last week I explained that the condition at night when the gravitational magnetic field of the planet is higher because the pressure of the sun gravitational magnetic field has withdrawn, because we move away from it and it's less, then the whole process of the plant's living structure of absorbing energy, which in that process absorbs protein as well from the environment to feed itself, because we do the same. When we breathe in, we absorb huge amounts of protein into our lungs, partially as a mixture of gases and partially when they reach inside our lung. The condition is created through the salt and the liquid in our lung, that they automatically, they become amino acid, they become a source of food, they become source of elevation of the soul of the man through the lung of the man. So does the plants do. But we never understood this, and it's important for us to understand that what we have, as I said in the knowledge seeking program before, we have a composite soul because we absorb diversity of their fields. Plants have much simpler soul, and for that they are very resilient. They can live through, which we can't live through. Trees live for 1,000 years, 2,000 years. Some trees live for 5,000 years. from some plants only last a few months and some few years. The position is that we have to understand the process. We have to understand the tree, the plant, in path of its existence, how it works. That in so many ways is for us, now that we look at the plants, to learn how we can live in deep space. This is part of our problem. This is part of our understanding. Last week I explained in a very simple way. I tried to make this the thickness of the wall of the, let me make it a bit thicker that you can see. If I make this the wall of the leaf, if you look at the cross section of the leaf, in the bottom of it, we absorb, or we have CO2, as we say. On the top of it, we understand we have oxygen. Underneath of it, we have another process, which is gravitational magnetic field of the earth. Above it, we have gravitational magnetic field of the sun. What is the process? Up to now, it was hard for us to understand, but with the knowledge we have gained, we know in this bracket here, there is something called a GANS, which in this GANS, we have a diversity of salt, different type of salt, and we have different type of liquid. And according to what the content of this salt is, this dictates what that leaf, what level of strength of carbon will convert, will accept. Then the gravitational magnetic fields of the earth or the sun are the composite plate changer. What does this mean? I'm going to do something in a very simple way that you will see, and it becomes very clear, is, you remember if you pick up a leaf of a tree or a plant, there's a slight color difference between the one beneath and the one above. They're not the same color. But the same you understand, they are, in a way, not porous, but nano-coated. Then, if we understand exactly what we understood in our box with a copper plate and a zinc plate, where in that environment we created a condition of gravitational magnetic field, the strength of the carbon, that it led to the absorption of the carbon, and in mixture with the water creation of the gas of CO2. This is exactly what happens here. But plants have triggered a very beautiful system. They have triggered to use the condition of the planet. And this is very, very triggery. It's a beautiful way they have worked. We hear that in the tape we listened to last week, that there is a photon comes in and the daylight creates centralization. We find vegetation in the deep sea, in the darkest part. We find vegetation in caves where there is no light. So, in so many ways, life is not dependent on the light of the sun. Life of the vertical people depends on the gravitational magnetic field of the sun and the strength which can pass through and at a point and position. If we understand this, then the game of understanding the cycle of life for vertical people changes. Why do I teach this today? Because as we are opening the deep space travel for man, man has to understand the secret of creation. This is one of the vital points. It will be used in every dimension of the space and deep space travel. This is one of the fundamental points of understanding of the creation of the conversion. And plants do it so cleverly, and us as human who have not understood it up to now, just pass it and find different ways to confirm we understand it, and we just put things in it because it gives us a lot of PhDs in universities. I call it PhD of stupidity than adding to the knowledge. You got to look at this picture. You know you have two nanoplates, one nanoplate on either side. You have the content of what we call the salt. And this salt is 100% connected with nitrogen. Why we give nitrogen to the plants? Why plants absorb nitrogen? Because they need it. It's the salt agent inside the leaf. And then others constantly create the next condition. This is why when you put nitrogen in a specific way in this magnetic field of the two plates, now we understand that the leaf of the plant is magnetic gravitationally created gas condition. Then we understand the role the nitrogen plays. But the process is just one step further than we understand. What happens is that, let's say during the night, the gravitational magnetic field from the Earth, it has the freedom to go further than it can. It can go that it can push further beyond its boundaries, and don't forget, it's not just one layer. Every layer of strength moves up one notch up, one level higher. In this process, what happens? Here, no carbon, no CO2, as the same as the lung of the man, ever crosses this. Never does. Just because the gravitational magnetic field strength between the two nano-coated plates, one plate is different than the other, and now the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth reaches further up, that it goes through the leaf in so many easier way. It changes a condition and it creates a position of carbon gravitational magnetic field inside the leaf. And as we saw in your gas bottles, the carbon in a matter state, in having its match inside, transfers across through as an energy field. It's the what we have seen in our lungs. So what happens? Energy transfers, energy of the carbon transfers to join into the leaf. And the leaf has a certain thickness, certain size, and it has certain amount that it can hold on to during the transformation from Earth gravitational magnetic field to Sun gravitational magnetic field. And then when the field strength of the Sun changes, what we call during the daylight or facing to be at highest, that is maximum facing, then the beauty happens in the reverse, which not many of you have managed to reach yet. And that is, now the gravitational magnetic field of the Sun allows the energy to convert into the matter state of oxygen. In a way, the plates reverse position. In a way, the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth creates the gravitational magnetic field of the carbon. The gravitational magnetic field of the Sun creates the gravitational magnetic field of oxygen, which now becomes in that level, according to the pull and the field strength of the sun, released as energy across and converts into the matter state. This is one of the cornerstones of what man has to learn for a deep space. How to convert the energy into the matter state, which the plants do it every single day, every single leaf, every second of their life, from the time of the establishment of the first life in a horizontal level and vertical level. A simple leaf shows us how in one gravitational magnetic field pressure can absorb matter and convert it into a gas, into energy, and by a strength push change of another field in the same environment can create matter. This goes to the Keshe Foundation Research Lab, which are trying to produce matter states. Understand this fully. This goes back to the space level lab. We're trying to research and you're trying to develop materials for your fuel. This is what, if you take it a step further, understanding the totality of what we need to do, it brings back what we call the CO2 box. No one has ever tried to put, while the plates are in different gravitational magnetic fields around the boundary, and see if this carbon changes to oxygen. And I promise you one thing, 99.9% all of you start producing oxygen. This is part of the cornerstones of the flight system you need to understand. A lot of you have been working trying to create deuterium, hydrogen, tritium. But if you understand this process, you can use the gravitational field forces of each reactor, especially your top reactor, to convert, change the material to what you need, deuterium to tritium, tritium to hydrogen, gain, release, absorb, attract, go forward past the speed of light, and decide that you don't need to feed fuel inside to change, but you need to create a condition that creates magnetic field forces, which gives you gravity or absorption, very much like CO2 coming in, or repulsion like oxygen, which is repelled. This goes back to the Chinese Space Agency and the Iranian Space Agency will work on these things. Americans are far behind, they'll never catch around their 50 years. Change of the condition on the pressure comes from understanding the structure of life, what we call the vertical people. If a single leaf can bring in oxygen or a carbon, or change it to a carbon or oxygen in a matter state, so if you extend your knowledge, it's very simple. Put another layer in. Oxygen here, convert to hydrogen here. Convert to anything you like. In our test, we do that. We put galvanized sheets or wires into the GANs. This is exactly what the plants do. With a copper wire, with a zinc plate, you get the CO2. But now, if you look at your galvanized, you have introduced iron, you have introduced nickel, you have introduced everything else, so you have increased layers by layers. And the combination of the totality of that gives you CH3. What about if you understand the work of the leaf and you take the C out of this, and because you're in the gas state, you have achieved tritium. Then, if you understand this process, very simply, you can change fuel in any reactors, in any combination, using the fourth reactor even more to create a condition of gravitational pull from the base to the top. Then the reality comes when you create this condition that you absorb carbon from environment, as we have seen in our CO2 boxes. What did we get? We get very much what we call the amino acid. The same process, amino acid, as it appears here, it appears on the leaf of the plant. And because it's in the order of the strength of the amino acid internally, it transfers through, it becomes the food. Energy transfer for the plant to take what it likes. In this process, then the carbon, according to what salt combination is different type of carbon which gets attracted into it. The salinity, the environmental route with the matter which brings in, decides what carbon is absorbed and what oxygen is given out. And this dictates the condition of the oxygen in the environment or atmospheric condition which feeds the man and the, God knows, the animals, which dictates the behavior of the animal, because then it touches the soul of the animal, because it's in the GANS state. Now you understand, everything is connected, but we have to understand the totality of it. We have to become aware of the reality in the total dimension of the existence. Because if you understand this process, you land or you're in space and you want to produce a matter, you have to see what is available that you can interact, absorb in a field strength, not necessarily salt, that from the other strength you can reduce or produce matter. Or conditions of the field that you need. You don't need necessarily to convert everything to matter, but you convert gravitational magnetic field of one strength to another, which means this gives you the capability in a way that if you have composite materials here, you can change it to simple materials. Now you can take composite fields in the space and convert it to monofield strength, which you need by creating very simple filter, which already the vertical people have achieved millions of years. The understanding of the nanostructure of the leaves of the plants, the understanding of the salt composition of the whole structure now makes sense. And then you understand the field of the earth are limited to the strength in the matter level according to the distance from the center. Then you understand why we have, as we said last time, the tree lines. Why certain vegetables and greens and herbs only grow in certain conditions in certain areas. Why, for the first time, you understand plants lose their leaves in the winter time or autumn time. We have come up with every chemical combination, but except the reality, the fact that when it comes to the winter, the planet turns slightly. So that a slight turn away from the sun has such a huge impact on the amount of the fields which come from gravitational magnetic field of the sun to the earth gravitational magnetic field, which that process cannot support the absorption of carbon into the leaf. Not being able there and having so much salt which is constantly there leads to what we call autumn leaves. And then the same process comes back in the spring. And that's why we don't have such a variation, because it's constant on the equator. The Amazons and all the green pastures are there, because there is not much difference. There's always the same distance from, and the sunrise and sunset is more or less about the same pressure. Then if we understand this, then we can change where we want, and what we saw with the hurricane into an oasis. All we done, we have changed the condition of gravitational magnetic field in that space. And once you put a GANS on the ground in a large volume enough, it changes its environment constantly, permanently. These are what we need to learn. These are important. When we have teachings like this, now you understand the connection between not only the soul of the man, but the vegetation, the horizontal one, the vertical one, the swimmers. And even now that we understand more, we have to accept life within the planet Earth. We are looking for life in deep space. We are looking for life somewhere in there that it matches us, we can communicate. But if you understand the process of the interaction of magnetical, gravitational, and understanding the existence of life within the sea, there is a life within the magma of this planet. There is life with the interaction that allows life within the center core of this planet. We are not looking for man with 2 ears and 2 legs, but we are looking for life that it means have the essence of the soul of existence. As long as man is looking for life in a space where somebody can talk and understand and have 10 arms and 2 funny legs, man still is in doldrums of thousands of years ago. We have to accept life in the essence of the creation of the soul of it, not in the essence of the manifestation of its physicality. And the sooner we understand this, the sooner we understand and we progress to be able to live within the span of the universe. Then we have respect for every being, unconditional on its physical manifestation. Then, if we understand this process, we understand we have reached a point to be able to convert energy fields of any strength, be it the matter, gaseous, or field, into energy matters of gaseous, matter, or fields according to our own desire and our own need. I can still make a spaghetti in planet Zeus, and it'll taste exactly like a spaghetti you have in the Italian room. Because in that I have the memory of, and within me sits the emotion of the taste, and I can transfer this the same as I can transfer in the leaf to the emotion to my great-grandchildren, to my friends who have and get a conditional connection, emotional to me, and in that process I can do whatever I like. We have to be much, much cleverer to understand what and how things are done. How we can be able to see and to understand to be able to feel the emotion of it, to be able to be part of it, to be able to use our emotion of our soul, that emotion of our physicality. And then at the same time to be able to transfer from one to the other. When we can create a link and be aware of that, that we can connect the emotion of our physicality to the emotion of our soul, then we start progressing in a totally different way. Because we can interact between the two, we become aware between the two, and then we can create a dimension that the both are happy to exist, coexist, and be part of each other. This will come to man in a very big way in a time to come. The part of the teaching of today is for our research labs in matter and field production. Part of it is for those who work in the space lab. If you understand this, then you don't need to keep on creating deuterium or tritium. You create a condition that the field forces from one allows the creation of what you need in the other. And in understanding it, you can change from hydrogen to deuterium to tritium, and in creating that, you create a rotation of the fields, which gives you the gravitational pull that by feeding to the ion elements of the plasma of the neutron at the top, it allows you to create in totality the sphere of the magnetosphere of what you call your spaceship. This is what we got to understand. This is what is the next step in the development of understanding of between physicality, the soul, and the condition for those who still like to be in a matter state condition, but have the beauty of understanding they can travel in depth of the universe without fuel, without food. Because then you can produce anything you like anywhere in space. The problem with most of the Keshe Foundation followers of learning has been very much copycat, following very tight what is done. I repeat, it shows, so it shows I'm intelligent. Now you have to push the intelligence further. We see these changes, especially magnetic field force changes in the factories which are getting set up in the Keshe Foundation factories across the planet. The proximity of the plates in a single room, such a mass, huge numbers of them, creating condition allows us not to only benefit only by the gases produced in the containers that we tank and in the tank rooms that we produce, but if the scientists of the foundation take the next step and be able to absorb the field flows within the gas production rooms, within the nano coating room, the plasma rooms, you have access not to the matter state of the energy, but to the field strength of the energy. Then, in so many ways, those of us who are involved in production of these factories create a new position amongst our systems, that we collect the fields, and that's why we are here, not the matter state that makes soaps or the water to drink. This is what we have to become aware of, that we become field absorbers, not matter state absorbers, and absorption and condition. Then we can produce in very much different way the fuels of space. This is one of the reasons the spaceship, what we call lab and factories in Africa, in United States, in China, they will be equipped to become the suppliers of the field energy for the space labs which they support. Then we just don't look at the gas production, but we look at the total field produced within the environment of the production of the gases, the production of and holding of the gases and other elements. So we look very much like the body of the man. The gases and the liquid is the feeder of the physicality, and the fields produced become the feeder of the soul of the system. And this process will become what I call a breakthrough for most of our scientists when they understand this. So you can bring, let's say, mercury into the factory and walk out with gold. Conversion of the elements comes exactly as we've seen by the leaf of the plant. Conversion of the carbon in changing the position to the creator of the oxygen. So you can do the same. Step up or step down, but not by changing the matter content of your system, but by changing the field environment of the system, or by absorbing the field environment of the system. This changes and brings a new game into play. If you look at the flight system, which was shown by Marco some 2 years ago, with the 4 cores and the beads, is the exact explanation of the connection to the planet and to the air we breathe, the gaseous part and the matter part. The inside, the cores, the gaseous parts can change constantly, but the beads cannot, because we have fixed them. Then you can take energy from total spectrum. Then, as you go back, as I've said in many teachings, the gap, the position between your gaseous and the matter state of the beads dictates what matters you want to produce in an energy form, that then you can convert it, as you've seen in the leaf, to the matter form which you need. It takes man thousands of years to unravel even past 20-30 minutes of teaching, because you have to open it up. What energy field will give us hydrogen, what combination of the fields will give us oxygen, what will create tomato, what is the strength magnetic field of the cabbage. Then if you take these further up, going back to our medical doctors who are using all this, what do you do with the part of the body of the man which is damaged or has created extra without actually doing any operation? We've seen Dr. Rodriguez has achieved a lot in so many ways, many doctors, but now you have to understand how it happens, which is exactly as you've seen in the leaf of a plant. The science has to be in totality. The science has to be in understanding the reality, the facts, not just making up to fit in, as we've seen in the Educational American video. The mechanism, what they come up with, is literally a bunch of capacitors to be able to hold. And then if you go a step further, you understand exactly why some plants stay green all the time. Why some plants have a short lifetime. Why some vertical people dictate to manifest themselves in different shape and colors and change the color of the flowers as they need. Because for the first time, if you understand this, you understand the vertical people have emotion. And emotion is confirmation of existence and to guarantee the existence. These people doesn't like me here with the red color, so I change it to the blue. I get people who can take my seeds or my nectar to somewhere else. The change of the color, the evolution in the color of the plants, comes through the feeling of the essence of their emotion and their soul, not just by random factor. So does in the animal life. But man has not learned this. Man has not progressed to go to the next step. And we have to. Now that we join and we're trying to understand the process of universal community and become, we have to understand the work of our own universe, which is this planet. The gravitational magnetic field of either side of a plant, doesn't matter how it is, if it's standing up or is drooping or it's flat on the floor, is exactly the same, because it has dictated this color, this position is where I can grab what suits me from the matters which are in the environment and from the matters I can give out. And then it's the same process with everything else in the universe. The assessment of what you can take out has to be considered first. Then you decide what you need to take out to get what you need. You can put in. Field interaction between the dynamic and the static systems is the key to travel in deep space for those who choose travel in a physical dimension of matter as what we call a spaceship. Those of men who elevate and understand more in the depth of the emotion of the soul will take into the deep space as individual souls. Then they become shining stars, because then they decide the position of it. And most of the teaching in the past few weeks has been for those souls of the man who have matured to reach that point, to be the creator of their own, in the dimension of existence of the emotion of the soul of their own soul. What we call in the physical matter the solo pilot. Or would you like to go with a jumbo jet and have plenty of people around to confirm your existence? What we call soul searching takes a different meaning when you understand the total teaching. You have to become mature to be able to cross the line. Or you have to become mature enough that you decide when you want to cross the line from physicality to become individuals. I join a spaceship as a group of thousands. And when it comes to a point, I take off. I want to test and be in this plane. It's very much like you are on a jet plane and it stands and flies from one destination to another. Not everybody takes off in one point. Those who take off in one point, some will go to one place and some to the others by their choice. In the space, if you understand the position, you can go as a group, and then I want to go and camp alone in the mountain. So that point, you use the strength of your soul. That I'm strong enough to be able to do, and whenever I decide in 1,000 years, in 10,000 years, on the next flight, I join back in to become part of the metaphysical state of life. This is now a fact. With the amount of teaching has been done, that many people start testing and have tested, and the different research labs in different parts of the world, different governments are working crazy mad on it, trying to be the first. Those of you who work in setting up of the factories, you have to consider the gravitational magnetic field forces within the structure of the factories, that it becomes another source and another dimension, which they become the fuel of your space lamps. Not carrying ganses. If you carry ganses, they convert in the span of the universe. If you carry the fields, they absorb others but stay in constant condition as you set it up. They become part of the soul, but they don't become the totality of the soul. But when you force yourself to the dimension of the gas, then you have to battle with the condition of the inertia, because it's a matter state, and when you are field, that inertia has no field forces on it. The difference between the matter state and the gas state is very simple. The condition of the acceptance of the strength field of the matter state inertia, where the gas stays at the strength of the plasma of the gravitational magnetic field, and not the inertia level. This is why you can create matter and you can create gas. When you reach the strength of the inertia, you manifest yourself at a matter state. If you stay at the strength of the gravitational magnetic field plasma, what we call even the soul, then you stay in a gas state. Inertia is a fixed condition, acceptance of the other field strength to be in position of the state and condition. Body of the man has no matter, not even unless it's a dust which spills and in a way falls on the body of the man. The totality of the state of the matter of the body of the man is gas in total. Even if you have an implant, the implant works in the gas state, not in the matter state. And if some of those who do this kind of operation understand this, they devise a totally different system which is much more effective. Because then the system absorbs energy like every other part of the body of the man. If they nano-coat it and embed it, then you don't need a battery for a pacemaker. There is a lot to learn, there's a lot to understand, and it's for man to take the shackles of limitation due to the lack of his understanding off his shoulder, that he can carry on to live and become part of the travel of the universe. As somebody said to me, have you opened a travel agency for a space? You're promoting it so good. I said, because I know how to do it. I'm already a travel agent for a long time. You have to understand the process of what is called centralization, but in fact it's the conversion of matter to gas and gas to matter state of higher order, because now you have more energy to give to it, and you can create condition in a matter field strength that when it comes, it delivers itself in matter state. Now you understand how clever the horizontal people think they are, but in fact the vertical people have been to them by long stretch. But they have compromised their physical motion to steady positioning and not wanting too much. As I said in one of my talks, it's like somebody who likes only fish and chips, breakfast, lunch and dinner. And he doesn't mind, because then he doesn't have to go and look for it, it's everything here. The process of understanding the technology gradually is unraveling itself. But according to understanding of people, of individuals, and in a very short time, in a very, very much shorter time, you will understand and you will see even the animals will understand the change. Because when you elevate the soul, all the souls get elevated, not just of the man. The process of conversion of the fields and extraction of the fields will become one of the most important parts of the deep space. What you extract, that what you can get from. If you go through a high field density ocean of a higher order, do I need any of this? Or can I tap it, reserve it like the leaf does, and in due time convert it back into the method which I like? Spaghetti. Or fish and chips. The understanding of the conversion and, in a way, the ability to convert will allow man to become a lifelong passengers of the universe. And then you understand the life of the man will not be limited to meager numbers of years as the man calls it. Any question?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. We did have a question from Delph earlier, who asks, what do you mean by elevation of the soul?
The elevation of the soul is that you get access to a higher order strength of your soul. The soul of the man is like a plasma. And if you go back to very, very original teachings, very, very original teachings, where we always explained in a simple way, now maybe it makes sense to the others, is I'm trying to create a, if you go back to the original teaching, this is the field combination of balance between the gravitational and magnetic field. Your hydrogen sits here, for example. Your carbon sits here. Your gold sits here. Your plutonium sits here. The elevation of the soul is access to higher strength. When it comes to higher strength, it's not only higher strength of gravitational pull, it's the higher strength of giving at a higher order. Then, this is the true essence of creation, where you can give more. Not what you might take in, because you already have a lot to hold on to anyway. The soul of the man, the cup with the soul of the man, still sits here. Somewhere, let's say here. But within it, it has all the essences. It's just that you add more in what you gather. That when it comes to the higher elevation, you have some which matches. Just because we have a composite soul doesn't mean we have elevated so much. Elevation of the soul of the man comes from his understanding of any creation, is how much is prepared to give from his existence, which is gravitational, which is holding on to give. That holding on to is not important, but by giving allows the others to be able to elevate, to use the higher order of their own strength in a way to give more. When you start the process of giving, it's contagious. I remember, if I'm correct, it was Hassan from Senegal. He said, people tell me, why do you give so much? I said, let them do what you do. They become contagious, then they want to give. It's like the soul. So elevation of the soul is being able to have the ability to give more, not to take more. This is what is the greed of the man. In a way, when you give more, the essence of integrity of your holding on to your own essence of creation changes. But in fact, when you give more, you have less to be attached to, and you have more to give. It's a beautiful condition. Any other question?
You just brought up the word attachment there, and how does that affect one's movement through this spiral labyrinth, you might call it? Does it make it easier to move through the...
You're a smaller, of course. When you're a fat, you can't go to a small door, can you?
That's a good way to put it. And I guess the door gets smaller as you get closer to the center, in a way.
The creator, yeah. It's what I call, I don't know if you've been to Ghana. When you go to Ghana, it's the total opposite to the rest of the world players. And every time I'm in Ghana and I say, we go on the beach with Benjamin, I says, Benjamin, look, you Ghanaian, why are you playing like this? He says, you know, because of this little hole, we make the best midfield players. And I look at him and say, my God, what you're talking about? Just because you have a few world players, you think, but it's just this little hole does. You know, in football game, we make a big gate, huh? The Ghanaians football gate, the posts, is just about, I think, about 20 centimeter. You can't even get a hole to it. And 20 men like run like crazy, 10 of them chasing this ball, is just about to get the ball through. I've never seen anybody playing football like this. You know, they don't need a goalkeeper. The post of the goal is the goalkeeper itself. But the essence of getting the ball through that little hole brings more talent, gives more energy, gives you become much cleverer to see how you can get it through. This just literally touches the ball. It's so tiny. When you go to Ghana, go on the beach and see, take a picture of people playing football. I think it's less than 2 foot. And it's the same with the soul. The more you give, the smaller, thinner you become, the more expert you become. You can give more and find a way to get in the best way.
Okay, another question about that, Mr. Keshe, is this idea of elevation of the soul. Some people might consider it, or maybe in some levels it is considered, a permanent condition, as opposed to more of a fluid condition, like one can have elevation of the soul in the morning, but maybe it's not elevated in the afternoon, kind of thing.
Let me tell you, I answer you very direct. If you have, you call the elevation of soul be higher in the morning and in the afternoon, you look how much you stolen during the day that you have actually put on the clothing this way. Huh?
You've gotten heavied up, ate too much.
Yeah. So
And
you go, as the
could
more
that
you
even
give.
be, sorry, could that even be literally true as well as figuratively? Does
Yes,
food
that's how
slow
it
us
is.
food slows us down in a way?
In a way, but if you look at it, it doesn't slow us down, because in a way we are a converter ourselves. We are that leaf which we convert the CO2 into the energy of the oxygen, whatever. We convert the matter state into the energy that the other beings use us. This is what man has never understood in a way. Our aura is a food to those who are around us, who need that energy. We are a converting energy. This is what I've written in the end of one of the books. God is creator of all, and man converter of some. We think we have and we do everything, but if you look in essence, we are that leaf which converts the matter state from one to another for the other beings which they need this to exist. This is why we cuddle each other. This is why we make love. We don't leave an egg on the table that says, this is mine, you put yours, we get a child out of it. We exchange energy, we exchange fields. And in that process, we give with our emotion. This is why you see the elderly cuddle the young and they hold on to them, they don't let go. Because it's literally, the young converts energy much faster, so I just grab as much as I can while it's here. This is why the grandparents love their grandchildren. This is a free energy source. Come on, I grab. How many times you heard
Actually, just
grandchildren saying, Grandpa, you're choking me?
that was actually in the news tonight in the CBC. There was a person that was um, just repatriated back to Canada after they were falsely accused in France of being a terrorist and so on. They sent them back to Canada after everything was cleared up after 3 years, and he hadn't seen his son during that time. His very young. Actually, I think it was a newborn that he had. He'd been back for a while, and he was doing exactly like you said, Mr. Keshe. He was lying there with this small child. Maybe I think it was his grandson. That's what it was. And he was lying there with the grandson all night. He said he stayed awake all night, just staring into the face of his grandson, who was sleeping there with him, because he didn't want to miss a moment of that time with him. He appreciated it so much after that period of being away. He was actually in prison for 3 continuous years in solitary, and he just was returned back to Canada, and that
Why,
was his
from
story.
Guantanamo Bay?
Pardon me?
From Guantanamo Bay?
No,
From...
no, it was in France actually. He was in prison in France while they sorted out, and they finally found he was innocent of all the crimes. It was all trumped up crimes from 3 years ago that they
Yeah, this is
extricated
very
him.
normal. This is very normal
Mm-hmm.
in European nations and the rest of the world. Trumped up charges.
Mm-hmm.
It's very normal. And then you just need one to start, and then they start. We see those ourselves with what they've started in different countries, or in Belgium against us. They trumped up because they want the technology. This is very, very normal. We became terrorists because we didn't give the technology to the King of Belgium in his request on the table with the coffee. You give it to me or you become a terrorist. And we just found out in the past few days, all the medical Trump charges which is coming against Keshe Foundations by the order of the King of Belgium. He's ordered it. And it's done by him because he wanted technology. Now it's trumped up, he become a terrorist and everything else. But we have enough evidence to bring him to justice, no problem. As you know, on the 10th of January last week, last Wednesday, our appeal was heard in the court of Belgium and has been approved. They are going for a total appeal. The court has realized there's a lot of line going on in that. So sometime in April, we start the process. If we didn't have a case enough, the Court of Appeal would not have accepted it. It's appeal accepted, and now we are going for full. It has become apparent Mr. Lawrence has made trumped up charges that he will be seen to, and the rest of the court case will be heard. And the appeal has been approved to be correct, and we are on track. And perjury in the court, that I'm paralyzed while you have a 360,000 invoice you haven't paid per month, has made it very clear to the judge that perjury is a prime object of it. So I thank our lawyers and our team in Belgium in successfully getting the case in appeal approved and accepted by the judges. After 6 months of elaboration, they saw enough that the case is going for appeal. So we'll see exactly what it goes. These trump charges are very easy to make if you are a man of influence, but we have enough medical evidence and scientific evidence to show that we're going, as I said, we just need to get through the appeal, and there's a lot of lies which has been said, and how we found out it's just made up by the king because he couldn't have it. Thank you very much, the Keshe Foundation team, and especially our team of lawyers who are defending our case, and the Court of Appeal, which has heard the case and accepted there is a lot of discrepancies in the case.
Well, that sounds exactly like it's going exactly the way you predicted it would, and the way you wished it would, actually. So,
yes, it
congratulations
is.
on that.
We are based on that, and we have in July they all jumped up and down that we are criminals. Now the Court of Appeal has accepted there is a case, there is a huge fraud and perjury. And when we submitted the 360,000 euro invoice non-payable, the judge has accepted this is a lot of lies in here. So the appeal has been approved. If you were wrong, the appeal would not have been approved. They've taken them 3 months, 6 months to look at the case, and now they accepted there is a case to answer. Any other question?
Delph is asking a question again. Can you explain the process of giving more to elevate others?
In a way, as I can explain it, is you are two people or a bunch of people, and you're mountain climbing, and the rest of the group or one of the group loses his grip and he dangles down the rope. You reach out to save, knowing that you could lose your life. In a way, you give all the strength, physical strength you have to pull, to hold on. That is possibility that by hanging on you, they can pull you down. But you give everything you have to save the life of a friend or whoever, even a stranger. This is exactly what it is. There's no other way to explain it. You give to elevate, to save another life. In a way, by elevating another soul, you allow it to save another life. It's like a father who risks his life for his child, because then the child can carry on with a life where the father's life is not important, because I have given, I have done what I came here for, to guarantee the love, the creation, that they love the creator. Very, very few fathers, when they see the son is falling, they push him. And then you have to ask if they are the real fathers. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe, it's Sándor from Budapest, Hungary. I'm looking at the drawing which you put on the white screen on the whiteboard, and I'm recording the explanation, and I just got a revelation that you explained so many times about plasma dilution. So this is a good recognition of that applies for soul elevation too, as a way of transmutation. Thank you very much.
Sorry, carry on.
Please, I finished.
This is so many ways. I have a delay in noise. There's a few seconds delay. The process of is not diluting, it's adding. When you dilute it, it becomes weaker. But when you add, when you give, there is more to give. In a way, it's very much, if you look at it, let's say, a pack of notes you carry. You have 20 of one euros and 20 of 20 euros and 5 of the other one. So when you have 20 of ones, you can give it to 20 people. But if you have a 5, you can give only to one person, but 5 of it. This is how it works. You don't dilute it, you give in the packages of the strength, which allows you to give, which allows you to extend, and in so many ways it allows you to produce a lot of higher order. But in that order, if there is a need, I have plenty to give. This is what I explained last week, where our job, or the compromise which the soul has made with the leech of the physicality of the body of the man, is by him running around, I can have more, that in the position I have more 1 euro notes in my pack to give, and more 20s. It's not just when I give the 20s finished. When I stay and elevate my soul that I receive, now I have 100. It's not that I become richer, it's that I can give more when the time comes. The nursery of the soul of the body of the man is one of the richest in the universe. It's just how he has learned to misconduct, to lose it. It's amazing. In a way, I was explaining to somebody when I was in China, and they laughed. If you look at it, you don't know, you have to understand the mentality of it. The Chinese, for example, in England, they work whole day in a fish and chip shop till 11 o'clock at night to make as much as they can. And then they get in the car and they go to the casino to lose all of it, and as much as they can work harder the next day to come back and lose more in casino. And in a way, we work harder to get more, to give more, but these guys work harder to go and to lose, to give to the casino. I watched them for years in Manchester, and I was puzzled, this must be serious. They put this money away. You know how much they save? But it's a habit. They like to be givers, but in the physical life, they give from their life to make, to go, and to lose, to give. But in the essence of creation, we become what we call the givers by the process of understanding how much we need to get, irrespective of how much we give. We become collectors for the soul of the others to be able to give more. Because there is a limit in the understanding of the soul of the man, by man himself, that after a point the cup reaches saturation, then it flows. And if it doesn't flow, in time somebody else which receives it will flow it. This is, we say, in the habit of the man. The father works so hard to gather all the wealth, and when it comes to the children, they spend it all in one go. Because they don't know how to hold, how to gather it. Because if they would have learned how to collect the way the father did, when they give, they always know how much to give. We are created to elevate. We are not created to hold. Any other question? The teachings are becoming very, very deep, especially now that we spend a lot of time, a lot of you have understood, start understanding the position and work of the soul of the man. Now, we're bringing back the work of the past 3-4 years. It makes it very easy for us to be able to convert our matter state being into the state of energy field, that we can go. The teaching of today is very fundamental, that in a space you decide, now I allow my physicality to show itself to cover my soul, and then I know how to allow my soul to cover my physicality, that I have no dimensions. In a way, if you look at it, I can explain it is, I choose to walk. This is my physical life. Then I choose to get in the jumbo jet to go faster to cover the same distance. To go from, let's say, A to B, it takes me 10 years of walking or 3 months of walking. I can get in the jumbo jet and get there in 1 hour. So the physical walk of, let's say, 3 months is your physical life. In the space, then you decide to go faster. What do? You get the jumbo jet on. You bring the soul out and put the physicality in. You haven't died, but now you have created a condition, you can go faster. You can go in no dimension, in the, you can go. So it's for us, part of this teaching, which is now we understand more, because we taught enough about the fueling of the body, the understanding of the gans and the rest of it. Now, in a way, it's for us as human being, as part of this teaching, to decide if I want to go the 3 months walk, or I bring the soul out, I go there instantaneously, and I walk out of the plane, I'm still me. This is what I'm trying to teach. This is what I'm trying to explain, that in deeper space, you decide you go with the UFO, as I said, as you call it, a spaceship, or you decide to go faster. I'm going on my own, I got my own private jet. I don't need to walk. So the man has to decide, would you like to walk this tiring 3 months, or would you like to reach and enjoy the scenery and have 3 months of holiday till the guy arrives who will start walking? Man has chosen that 3 months of walking up to now. And what we are trying to teach you is, come on guys, get on board, you have your own private jet, get there and do the job and have 3 months holiday instead of walking 3 months of road. That's all it is. But you have to understand, to be able to get there, you can't pollute the air, you can't build the runway that you can damage all the environments and God knows what, and make a few people homeless because you need that runway on both sides to land. That's all it is. And then, in that process, how you feed yourself in that 3 months, or you get there, you have the barbecue and everything with you, and just you have a holiday, nice time, you know what to convert, what you need, you know how to fish, you just go to the lake and get the fish. Where the guy in 3 months of walking has to see who gives what, and if there is any fruit on the plants or whatever to eat. This is the difference in a simple way. And more or less, the teachings are getting to the point that start after 3-4 months of teaching about the soul, start making understanding, when start makes realization of the truth in what we have the capability of, what we are able to do, what we can do.
Mr. Keshe, Furhan has a question, a very short question. What is fate?
In which language and in which path of belief? If you are Iranian and you have a faith and you say it's my destiny, in another word, It's my faith. It happened in English. Says, oh, this I landed here. I broke my leg. It's my faith. I've got to see what happens afterward. If you are from Iran and Middle East, you go and buy these little things, crackers, and you burn it in the fire. That ooh, the smoke will change my faith, and somebody decided me to be here, and I don't want to be. That's why suffer. What we call it in African, they say they put a badan on you. And so if they put a pattern on you, or they do, what do you call it, voodoo, or whatever they do. So faith is how we would like to interpret others' wishes so it suits us. The faith or the path of life of a soul is one, is to give. There is no faith, there is one destiny, to become the giver. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Not the faith as a religion. The religion doesn't exist. The faith as a religion does not exist. Those who want to fool themselves, they can make one for themselves. Anybody can become a guru for themselves. But faith as path, as something which we end up to be in, and says, oh, this was my fate to be like this, or to end up like this. In a way, we planned it through our physical life, that our soul brings us to this point of what I call point of balance, not the judgment. Our faith, what we say, we come to a point, is where our soul knows the position of the correctness of the physicality. And because we don't understood, or we didn't understand, or we do not want to understand what we done physically to be where we are, then we call it a faith. Is the, as I call it in so many ways, when you don't understand the work of what you've done, well, this is the consequence of it, and then you end up in that position, which is a correct position. Oh, this was my fate to come here and this happened to me. But in fact, you got to look what else you've done that your soul is aware of doing it. We are dealing now with a very huge case, very, very huge case of a situation exactly like this, and people don't understand. And it's amazing how what you call the souls are bringing everything to one position. And it's amazing how what I call the faith of the man is on the table. Then he can say, oh, I didn't know, I didn't do this, and it wasn't my fault, and you did, or whatever. But in a way, we see the soul. Soul is pushing the physicality in a position of himself to manifest the wrongdoing of the man in a physical life. It's a case of child abuse and adultery and rape. And it's very interesting. We are working with the police very closely, raping one's daughter, sister's daughter, and all sorts of abuses are coming up. And we'll see, we see the soul moving it, but the guy thinks it's very clever. And he's not there, but the soul is pushing it there. He has raped, and he has abused the sister's daughter's young daughter, and still busy, he could think, could do. It's very much the case of Alan Sterling. But I'm watching the soul. And those who have been abused or been part of it, to be all covering up, we don't know. It doesn't exist. But we're watching the operation of the soul. And the fate of that man come very soon to the public. Because we see that I don't watch the operation of the physicality, the operation of the soul, and the national security, so are working around it. And everyone says, oh, I don't even know the man, it's got nothing to do. But we see everything is coming up. Raping an 8-9-year-old girl, living in a house with a sister, raping the child, and all that. And walking as is nothing. And the sister has to shut up because she's part of it. It's very interesting. We stop looking at the physical, but we are looking how the soul is bringing the physicality in position, what we call the faith. Any other question?
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, everybody. My name is Mernaz.
France.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. We had you before.
Thank you very much. Very excited. Thank you for everything you do. It's amazing. I wish we all deserve it. And I have 2-3 questions for a long time. First of all, one day you talked about how we can hide the truth partially in religion. It's true in the Quran. It says in 2 verses that when your religion is in danger, you can hide it and you can say other things. So we can partially lie when we are in danger because of our faith. And other things in Quran says, the 2nd chapter, a very short chapter, it says to Prophet, say, Allah is unique. He is the only giver, the whole giver, something like that. And he has never had a child. He has never given birth. And he has nothing equal to him, nothing. So if I'm a partially creator, if some people, you are creator, okay? But people have children, people have parents, people may find some people like them and they are not able to give to anybody, to everything. So what's the relation between I as creator and Allah as creator, the creator as creator? The first one I can imagine, it's a light that enlightens everything and mirrors and never stops. But what about me as creator?
There are 2 or 3 factors. First of all, the part in Quran that it says when it comes to the part, the faith, you can lie about it, that you are not off the path or whatever, if that's what you're trying to say. We saw that with the what we call disciples of Christ. It comes from that because the guy had to say to save his life. But again, it's how strong is the path of belief you have that allows you, or how much confidence you have that allows you to lie, to be able to save your life by lying about your faith. I met your Iranian when I was in Iran years ago working for the Sharif Tehran Research Center. We were kept in a secure compound where everything was controlled. And in my walking in the, what you call it, closed compound, locked up gates, I met a woman walking with a dog. And I said to her, it's strange, you have a dog with you, isn't it? People don't mind. She said, I have become a Christian. And I have come here, but I tell everybody I'm a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, the dog is clean because I converted to Christianity. You understand? You know, there is many of these in Tehran now. And it was a puzzling for me. I said, why do you convert to Christianity and then lie to the people that you're a Muslim? He says, if I say that, they start doing all sorts of things to me. I said, then you're not really a Christian, are you? Because you don't stand for it. She said, I have to walk my dog. I cannot talk. Because she had to think. But it's a very strange position. But when you talk about the God and me, the soul of the man has found attachment to the physicality of the existence. where the soul of the God has no attachment. And that's the difference.
Means when I go other side, I'm more close to Creator?
You don't go on the other side. When we have the condition of the soul, of the physicality, we carry the soul of physicality. We carry the soul which has come in touch with physical existence. So we are aware that we can create and we can be dependent on physical existence. Where the soul of the creator has no dimensions and it has no attachment to manifest itself, to show itself it exists, to become manifest in the matter state or condition of physicality. It's a big difference.
Of course.
It's very much like I was talking to our researchers and I keep on telling them, the problem with most of our researchers is they look for a result to confirm what they're doing is correct. They don't have a belief in what they do is correct. They don't need to look at the physical condition. Those who look for a physical confirmation of their test, they always have a problem explaining, because then they failed. Those who are rich, we got 2 or 3 people like this. We got Alex, we got Armin, who are very much in that way. Physical manifestation to them is done. They see it, they do it, and they believe in what they do, and the consequence of matter state doesn't matter, but sometimes they fall in it, but we have to be able to show. And I say, this is not the time. Because as long as we have to confirm existence by confirming something is there, we are still entangled with the soul of the physicality of the man. When we know, we believe in what we do is correct and we're just giving everything to be there for the others to elevate, then we have reached the level of the soul of the creator. It's just how can we explain to these man of physicality things are happening. It is irrelevant. You don't see, I feel. I don't need to see. And when the man gets that confidence, understands that it elevates itself to the level of the soul of the creators, at least in the path to it. And as long as you look for confirmation through a physical existence, you still have that dilemma of being what I call the matter state of the soul. Show me. This has become a very thing. Show me, I believe you. It means I tell you, you look in your soul, you have seen it. You're denying your existence through your soul. And it's become a very good trick nowadays. I don't need, I believe you have to show it to yourself.
Mm-hmm. And what about the forgiveness? I mean, asking forgiveness from God.
First of all, why do you need to get forgiveness? If you are aware of you've done something wrong and you have reached that point that you've done something that it needs to be corrected, or I'm aware of what I've done wrong, you have already judged yourself and you have already forgiven yourself. The point of forgiveness, when you ask, forgive me, it means I'm aware of what I have not given, what I was supposed to give, or what I've given wrong, and what I was supposed to give from my soul. Never ask no one for forgiveness, because even the God doesn't. Because when you ask for forgiveness, it means I'm aware I have judged myself. As I said, it was one of the commandments, never judge and never be judged. But when you understood that this is me, this is what I've done wrong, I was supposed to put, I didn't, yeah, you have already understood. Your soul has already elevated. This is the beauty of it. I was past few days in a position, I gave a note to the guy in the cashier, and he was so busy counting, He was supposed, let's say I gave him a 20 euro note. He was supposed to give me 5 euro note back. But he gave me 20 euro note back. And he gave me what I wanted. And I didn't look, he gave me this, because I had to give this 5 back to somebody that I took the money from, because I didn't have the right money. And the guy, being correct, came back to me and he said, look, I want a 5, not a 20. And I looked, I said, how is it possible? I gave you a 5. He said, no, you gave me a 20. He's that honest. And me, I thought, oh my God, the guy in there has given me 20 instead of 5. I went back to the guy in the box and I said, listen guy, I gave you 20. You were supposed to give me 5. You have given me 20 back. He said, the minute I gave you the money and he walked out, I knew, but I didn't know what to do. You understand? So I don't have, oh, I could give the other guy the 5 euro and walk out with 20. But I walked out, the guy is happy. Most probably that 15 is his wages for one day. And I live peaceful, he lives peaceful, the other guy is straight. And we don't have to worry to, what do you call it, to ask for forgiveness. Yeah?
Right.
You understand? So we have to be correct in our conduct to ourselves and to nobody else. And this is what will come to man in a space. People will understand what this means when you start coming in interaction with those who do not understand any of what bad habit of the man is. To kill, to steal.
Yes. Sometimes sometimes when I pray, I feel like I like to cry, like because I don't cry, I don't judge me for things I have done. I don't try not to do things. For the things I cannot do, like I know that I can do more, better, take more responsibilities. I just don't have the force to do that. And that's why I cry, because I know I can. I am supposed to.
You see, this comes back to the point. When we create an emotion, I know exactly what you do, what you're trying to explain. When we get to the point of emotion, that position that I want to do, I can do, and I should have done more, there's a beauty with this. In that position that you could do, you have understood that you could do, but physically you didn't do, and you have realized that point, which goes through your emotion, you have already elevated your own soul. When we understand this is one of the beauties, because then I have the courage to do it the next time. You understand? And then next time or the time after, you do it, because now you bank the strength. You know, this is what I need. I didn't have, I gave from my physicality, knowing I couldn't give, I could have done more. So I have created that condition through the emotion of my physicality to the emotion of my soul, to have it that the next time I can do it. Even though next time I might not be able to do it when I come to it. It's, in a way, if you understand, we bank everything in our soul. We elevate our own soul. It's the point of the death comes when the total soul, a physical soul, gives itself to the soul of the man. It's very much like we have a gravitational magnetic field of this planet, which reaches the span of the universe. But you still have that gravitational magnetic field of the matter state of this planet, which is very limited. But still, when this planet blows up or gets absorbed, they all become one. The physicality, the essence of the physical, will join the gravitational magnetic field of the center. So, in essence, it's us who have to understand this separation and this power. We can give from our physical soul into our emotional level that adds to the soul of the man itself. We bank, it's a saving bank, and they call it the church. Go and pray. Who do you pray to? Where does it go? My soul is closest thing to the soul of my physicality. You sit and pray through your physical dimension, which adds to the soul of your totality. And when you need an inconscious, oh, I did that and the God did that. When I not prayed, all you did, you banked and you found the match and it came and your prayer came reality. You did it yourself. You transferred the energy from the soul of physicality to the soul at the level which is needed in the body of the man. And then they found the position, a new balance condition, and that new balance condition is what you were asking for because you banked it. It's like you want to buy a car, you have 1,000, you're short of 500. You put your hand in the other pocket, you put the 500. Nobody brought the 500, you already brought it with you to pay for the car. The power of the soul of the man is immense. It's just man has let himself down to understand.
Thanks. And the last question, I don't want to abuse your time, is what does this blue image on the home page? This is some kind of extraterrestrial being, blue.
Which home page, blue?
On the home page of Keshe Foundation, there was a like extraterrestrial blue person with a ball in the hand. What's this image stand for?
This is the man offering his soul to the universe.
Man offering. Why is it blue?
It is the color of the planet.
But it's not.
This planet is known as a blue planet.
But not that blue. It's a blue violet.
Yes, if you look at the Earth from the top, it is that kind of color.
Okay.
Or that's at least how we see it.
Okay, that's the man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
If you look at the SSI logo, not KF SSI, the SSI logo, which is a Spaceship Institute, this is designed in a very scientific way by the Iranian scientist at Sharif Tehran University. He has a lot of meaning. They wrote the meanings of it and it's on the archives of the Keshe Foundation. The Universal Council is done by as a representation of the man offering his soul to be part of the universal community, not his physicality.
Because I don't know if I say that, to tell you the truth, last year I dreamed, but very vivid dream, that somebody, a little UFO, they call it, one person, like a small, one person size, just beside my bed, and somebody came out, which was this color blue, but was tall, maybe 2 meters, 2.5 meters, and came out. I felt like it should be a woman, but there was no sign of man or woman or mouth, and just close to me, 20 centimeters. And I was very afraid of this person. He came out of his UFO near my bed, and I tried to do some prayers. I was so afraid. And that's why this blue color, like blue violet color, I always thought, what could it be that I
don't know.
it so vividly?
The point is, in the world of creation, we all reach point of maturity in different strength, in different levels of our own, what I call capacity, and we are all capable to reach the same level. It's just that we tend to, or as a human being, we've been so much forced by what I call those who understood the weakness of the man in not understanding his soul, that we have lost trust in ourselves. We can create anything in what is our wish, what is our point of desire to have. And we have given it different names, different ways. I came across this in a very, very young age, and I understood, but I thought, why people don't see it? Why don't the people understand it? In the Iranian culture, when we sneeze, we say, we wait, there is something gonna happen. And we call it sapkon. Don't do anything, you know. You sneeze, there is something's gonna happen. We better stop for a few seconds, for a few minutes. It's part of our path of what we call it, culture. And I remember I was a very young boy, and we were going to see our family in another part of Iran. And as we got in, we saw suitcases packed in the corner of the house. And the mother said, 2 days ago, when I was ready to go to catch the bus to go on a trip to come and see you, I sneezed. I said, they must be on their way. We don't need to go. And now you are here. You're talking from Tehran to Tabriz, north of Iran. And it was very funny. And I said to myself, my auntie and my mom, they don't understand the souls inform each other, and they just think, you know, the sneeze is a clue. We have to understand, at a very young age I was aware of this process of how our souls inform each other. And in fact was one of the best holidays that we ever had. But it was the essence of what would happen if you go there and they're on the way down to see you, what's going to happen. But our soul says, oh, we're going to have a good time. So one finds another way in different path of physical direction, not to go and not to be done.
Very beautiful. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Shall we call it a day? Or is there any other question?
Perhaps you can give a relatively quick answer to Tugay's question. When we decide to travel with our soul, do we have to leave our physicality at the place of start and create a new physicality? Or can we return to our old physicality?
First of all, we always leave our soul. In a dimension of physical life, when we rest, there is a condition which we call unconsciousness or whatever. The soul of the man, in a way, leaves the soul of the physicality to be in charge of the body, because not much can be done with the body when the soul of the physicality is resting. So our soul travels beyond, or leaves, in a way, a trace behind to other dimensions. And sometimes we call it a dream. So it's not that we leave and we never traveled. Because our soul has created this attachment to physicality, but it doesn't necessarily stays always with physicality. The tiredness, the sleep, or the rest, we call it, which the body goes in a position of just running what we call sleep. At that point, the soul of the man is free, because it has a connection, but leaves the operation, because it cannot do the physicality cannot do anything wrong in a way. You can just kick a, God knows, the wife next door or the cat which is on the bed. But you cannot go and do the mischievous things man does whole day, stealing, robbing, and whatever they do, or work or whatever. So the soul of the man is free. It takes that chance to take in the realms of the creation. But still, in a way, attached to the soul of the physical. It knows where it is, like a bird which goes to, from Siberia to, what do you call it, equator, and it goes back again. Our soul has that freedom. But because we do not understand in the emotional level of the brain of the man, we don't see that space, that flight of, what that we'll call the flight of fancy. But most of the time, when the physical condition It's taken that we have no physical thing to do. Our soul is free. It doesn't sit there, oh, when it's going to wake up, then I can start working. No. But because in that point has no connection, it's very much, doesn't matter what happens. In one point I'm traveling somewhere else, there's still things is still happening, you know, the office still runs. It doesn't matter if I'm supposed to be in London, but the office is in New York. But when I'm there in London, I do what I have to do. But nobody knows what I'm doing in Washington or in New York. Our soul is free, but has taken a commitment of looking after this physicality, the time the physicality is here because it needs it to do. In a way, we feed our souls through our work of daily absorbing energy, that it can do is work while it's with us in a physical condition and in dimension when it's free to travel. We never lose the, those are people who think that soul of the man is inside the man and sits there watching what it's going to do. You haven't even understood anything about the soul yet.
Good day, Mr. Keshe.
Good morning, Jalal.
Mr. Keshe, you said the Iranian government, they have this knowledge for nearly more than 10 years. Why we don't see any support from them in the stream media about this knowledge? Or they are waiting for
There is
specific
a lot of controversy about my work in Iran. And we even had a discussion with the past few months, past few weeks. The President Ahmadinejad has taken all my files and the present Iranian government cannot find it. And we know where it's gone to. And we know who's handling it. In so many ways, all my research development is taken to a specific part of Iranian government, which the present regime does not have no access to it. And it's something internal which we are trying to find out exactly what's happening. But the Keshe Foundation supports Iran are very large. We don't have a problem in that way. And secondly, if we establish any kind of connections now, they mark you as a terrorist part of organization. The Keshe Foundation stays clear of all these things just because somebody sits somewhere who can accuse anybody to be a terrorist. And I have managed to keep the foundation very clean away from these things and any connections, that we do not get pulled into this Mickey Mouse game. To hold the foundation this big and the way it works, and with all the accusation which is going out of the list of the terrorist organization, the American government has been an art for me. That's why I share my knowledge openly. And the Iranians don't want to be involved, then they have to release information. But this will going to be solved very quickly, very soon. At the moment is what we said. We became a terrorist because we didn't give it to the king. Keeping the Keshe Foundation to be an international organization without any firewalls and bans is an art that a lot of you don't even understand. I hope you could understood, but we have to play games with the fire of what we call these vampires. But in Iran, Keshe Foundation is very strong. They work, there are processes going on, and Dr. Azar and Dr. Parviz were in Tehran presenting the lectures a couple of 3 months ago. And we have a huge support across Iranians across the world. But to us, Iran is where I was born. My knowledge belongs to humanity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I think we wore you out pretty good there, Mr. Keshe. Thank you very much for all of today's teaching.
Sorry about the beginning. We had some problem, which was this updating of the programs, the software. And you have to be sorted. I never noticed it. But we'll see what happens.
Yes.
Thank you very much for today. This is nearly 3 hours, 12 o'clock. There is a message for all of us, and that is, let us look at the brighter future, which is done by us being open to reality, not trying to find a way to confirm physicality. And the reality is, we are created, or we were born to elevate our souls to its maximum potential, that when it's free of the tangible, what we call this physical dimension, can serve the others in the universe. And the sooner we understand, the faster we evolve to the final point. Thank you very much, and hopefully next week we learn more. But now we see a lot of things are coming together, even though we carried on with teaching about the soul, that now you can see the relevance and how you can bring it together. And I hope we learn more as we grow, what I call more mature into this technology. Thank you very much, Beck and the whole Keshe Foundation team in the background, and congratulations to the Keshe Foundation and KFSSI education team, which have started their 5th year. And I hope I'll be able to teach sometime during these months of this year, as we have agreed with the head of the Keshe Foundation, KFSSI. Thank you very much, and see you next week. I think next week it'll be exactly 4 years completed, 208.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a big milestone for the Keshe Foundation and for us personally to survive all that, Mr. Keshe.
4 years of it.
Continuous. You haven't missed one single day, either have I. And I think Vince has been there for all of them as well. And that goes for every single holiday.
No matter what time.
We've
no
had
matter what the weather was like.
probably every international holiday of the world we've been broadcasting on.
We had a Christmas, we had a New Year.
Yes.
We had everything. So next week is 208. It's exactly 4 years we started. And we still have enough knowledge to teach. There is no end in the knowledge of God.
That's right. And that, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. No, I said thank you very much. Thanks for everything.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that I had spoken earlier, hinted that there's a project that I was putting forward. The project that we're working on is to compose basically the top 100 quotes of Mr. Keshe that, you know, from the various workshops and whatever source that we can think of. And we're going to open up the forum in the Keshe Foundation community site, and people can go to the forum and offer their favorite saying or their favorite quote from Mr. Keshe. And
I'm still alive. I haven't got to that point yet.
That's okay. We'll make you famous before you die instead of having to die and then be famous. So the idea is that we can then put forward every day the top quotes, and we'll make a nice little picture to go with the quote, and also a link to the actual workshop, the exact time stamp link to the workshop, so that you can click on it and be able to go directly to that quote in the workshop. As well as we'll produce t-shirts with the quotes on them as well, and they'll be offered for people if they would like to purchase a t-shirt. So that's kind of the plan anyway, so people can go to the KF Community Forum. We haven't quite got it set up yet, but it'll be ready by tomorrow, and you can put in as many quotes as you like, basically. We'll come up with a list of at least 100, and then the idea is we'll find the top 10 out of those. Maybe we'll do a vote in Facebook or something like that in order to determine the top 10. And we'll have some fun with that, I thought.
It means our webmasters don't have much to do now.
Well, it means we've actually we're able to do a bit of creative stuff, which is nice too. And it's a good way to promote.
That's the nice news. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed. We'll see you next week, and we'll see where we'll be next week and what we'll do and what knowledge we can share.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Rick, and thank you very much, the whole Keshe Foundation team.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. And this will be the end of the 207th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, January 18th, 2018. And I think we're going to end with our 200 slide video here with music. So thank you, Flint. Bye, everyone.